Was Call of Duty Infinite Warfare really a bad game? Welcome to my channel, my name is Predator, and today we are talking about the 2016 edition of Call of Duty franchise, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I often try to look back at Call of Duties with some version of nostalgic fondness to see the good in them. Sometimes that is impossible, as there are games that irk my soul as a player. However, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I don't actually think it's one of those games that was as bad as it was received. I do, however, think it was overshadowed by a dual release going back to boots on the ground. I think the release of Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered at the same time satisfied two separate versions of the Call of Duty audience. The players that enjoyed boots on the ground, like myself, and the newer generation of players that enjoyed fast-paced movement and more modern versions of video games. Even now, as boots have returned and seem to be staying on the ground, it's still a faster paced version of Call of Duty, even faster than Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare as it would seem. In this video, we're going to dive into three aspects of the game: campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. Let's talk about the campaign. Let me start out by saying I was never a campaign guy. A lot of my buddies always started out with campaign on release night and then worked their way into multiplayer and co-op modes, but that just wasn't my style. I usually hopped into multiplayer right away, considered it luck if I ever played or got through a Call of Duty campaign. It wasn't until I got older that I started enjoying the single player aspects of games. Either way, Infinite Warfare was one of those Call of Duties that I dabbled in the campaign and also watched a couple playthroughs on YouTube. The campaign reinforces the point that I stated earlier, that players in general do enjoy a faster paced movement. I do think the multiplayer scene just caught up slower than the campaign players. The campaign came with the most amazing reviews in the aspect of everything feeling balanced as far as movement and gunplay. A good chunk of players actually enjoyed the space gameplay of the campaign, and even one review stated that this could give you the feeling that you haven't gotten from a Call of Duty in a while. As you take control of a Tier 1 Special Operations pilot, you essentially roam around the solar system in a quest to complete the story. I don't want to get into too many details, it's been quite a while since I played or watched this campaign, plus I don't want to reveal any spoilers for those possibly looking to complete the campaign. We're going to move into zombies and save multiplayer for last. So, zombies had its own gameplay mechanics and story separate from the campaign of Infinite Warfare, as well as all co-op sections of Call of Duty usually do. This version really emphasized team playing in the zombies iteration by allowing team buying doors and point sharing, and they added their versions of Gobblegums, tokened as the Fate and Fortune cards, with their own caveats of earning and using them. Unlike the multiplayer and campaign versions of Infinite Warfare, zombies kept you firmly planted on the ground. The story is actually quite interesting in this rendition of zombies and should be played through just for the aspects of that. It follows the story of horror film director Willard Wyler and how he coped with his wife's death and daughter's distancing relationship through some very bad dealings. If anything, the zombies mode is just a different story of the same good old zombies gameplay. Let's talk about multiplayer. So this is where the video is going to get a little bit interesting. Multiplayer was not received very well. I think in part for two reasons. One, because it continued the futuristic movement we had seen for a little bit of time that wasn't received well to begin with. So the question begs, why did we continue it? The second reason is because they gave us Modern Warfare Remastered. So I think MWR being released was both a good and a bad thing. I think it was good in part because it allowed the older players to continue enjoying Call of Duty, and in a fashion we had already done so previously, as this was just a reiteration of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The bad is it allowed people the time and the escape to see only the negative about Infinite Warfare. I had a few buddies that only bought the Infinite Warfare version of the game without the MWR release, meaning if I wanted to play with some of my longtime friends, I had to play Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This game time that I had in-game to realize that the game itself wasn't as bad as people made it seem. The class customization options were immense but awesome. They brought back a version of the nuke with guns that weren't pay to play, and the maps were solid, and some of them were even recreated maps from past Call of Duty titles that were just fan favorites, just brought up to the modern era of Infinite Warfare. So I don't think Infinite Warfare was a bad game. I think it was a decent game released directly alongside with a nostalgia-filled, great game. You could have re-released most Call of Duty titles alongside Modern Warfare Remastered, and they would have received close to the same reviews as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment down below. We can talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Peace out.